today, guys. You must know what it is because, you clicked on the video, so you saw the title. Or maybe you accidentally did. That's more likely. So today, it is Halloween, right? It's October. It's not Halloween Day, but it's October 16th today. And I've been wanting to do a Halloween video, and if you didn't notice, I started somewhat like a Halloween series a couple weeks ago, and I keep forgetting to film those videos, and I haven't really come up with a plot point of how they all die. So I thought instead I could read you one of my favorite kind of like creepy books. It is a little creepy, but it's not majorly creepy, but it's still there. So today I will be reading Shadow House. I've read the whole series. There's 3 books, and it's a really interesting series. Sorry, I keep saying It's a really interesting series, so I thought I could read it to you since it's Halloween and it's a creepy book. The other book I could also read is Goosebumps, because I remember when I was younger, I always loved Goosebumps. I loved watching the Slappy episode because he creeped the heck out of me. But I also have a Goosebumps book that I could read too, because that's kind of Halloweenish. But today we're going to read Shadow House, and I think I'm just going to read the first chapter. Hopefully you can see this. So it says knock knock, who's dead, and then you open it up, and later you'll find out who this character is actually. It's a really interesting book. There's also an app that goes with the book. They're kind of a pair. So here we go. Also, I got this from my school because they do a whole book fair thingy. So I don't know, like, if you can probably find it online somewhere. Chapter 1. Whenever Poppy Caldwell glanced in a mirror, she saw another girl standing behind her. There were plenty of other girls at Thursday's Hope, the group home where Poppy had lived since age 6. But the girl wasn't like other girls. Poppy was pretty sure she was dead. In the mirror, the girl always appeared smiling, hazel eyes glinting with playful kindness, long dark hair slanting sharply across her forehead. She always wore the same white pinafore over a dark dress, with large pockets that gaped near her hips and seemed filled with mystery. Poppy knew that seeing the girl was odd. Was she a ghost? An angel? Once Poppy had worked up the courage to ask her. Bunkmate Ashley, hold on. My computer needs to charge. Computer, I swear I'm saying it correctly. Once she got up the courage to ask her bunkmate Ashley if it was normal for girls to appear behind you in mirrors. Girls who couldn't speak. Girls who weren't actually in the room with you when you turned around. Ashley had laughed so hard, Poppy had forced herself to giggle too, pretending it was all a joke. She thought she'd be able to keep her secret, but Ashley didn't like keeping secrets. Tales of Poppy's vision spread through the dormitory like smoke, and Poppy acquired an unfortunate nickname, Crazy Poppy. For a while she tried to argue, hoping that she could convince the others that the girl was real. It only made the teasing worse. Poppy started to believe she was crazy. I said that sentence wrong, sorry. But whenever things got really bad, when the other girls at Thursday's Hope badgered her ruthlessly, the girl was Poppy's special comfort, a friend who made her less lonely, less afraid. Sometimes, when a mirror caught her eye, Poppy would find the girl peering back at her, and the girl would remove an item from one of the giant pockets of her smock, and then hold it up as if to make Poppy smile. The next morning, Poppy would discover the item tucked under her pillow. The first time, it had been a thin wire twisted into the shape of a finch. Then came pressed flowers out of print comic strips, snipped from yellowed newspapers. A paintbrush with dried green paint at its tips. Old things, surprising things, strange things. At first, Poppy couldn't believe it was happening, but the objects were there. She could hold them in her hand, and that meant they were real, unexplainable, but real. Poppy treasured these items, tucking them inside a book she'd hollowed out to keep them secret. But Ashley took particular pleasure in raiding Poppy's belongings, passing the girl's treasures to the others, who would tear and sometimes destroy them. On those nights, Poppy had nightmares of terrible fires and watched screaming as her bunkmates burned around her. The worst part was that in those dreams, Poppy was always the one to light the flames. In real life, Poppy didn't know how to fight back, until the day Ashley got her hands on a delicate charcoal sketch of 5 kids in masks and uniforms, all lined up against a stone wall. Poppy had hidden the sketch in a separate place, between the pages of a book she loved, a book she knew Ashley would never ever read. But Ashley was a better snoop than Poppy had imagined. Poppy found her standing beside their bunks, the drawing held roughly in her hands. So here's the drawing. I'm going to hold it up for a couple seconds. Okay, I hope you got a good look. If you didn't, you can pause the video. Is this from your friend? Ashley asked with a thin, flat smile. She tensed her hand threateningly on the sketch. Something inside Poppy broke. Before she could stop herself, she reached for Ashley's favorite possession, an ornate mirror on their shared nightstand, and swung it. There was a smash, a scream. Ashley clutched her hand into a fist, but the sketch had already slipped away from her. Miraculously, it landed unharmed on Poppy's bed. Poppy just watched as Ashley howled for help. Poppy had never been sent to Miss Tate's office before. Its cold metal cabinets and big oak desk had always intimidated Poppy when she walked past it. Now she was seated in front of the desk, in the chair for troublemakers. The secretary told her, in no uncertain terms, to not touch a thing, and to wait there until Miss Tate had checked on Ashley. Poppy knew she should listen. She was in enough trouble already, but her stomach was churning with so much anger that it burned her usual meekness away. For once, she didn't hesitate to take the chance she'd always dreamed about. As soon as the office door closed behind her, Poppy was out of her chair and searching the cabinets for her own file. If she was already in big trouble, why not get in a little more? The room smelled too sweet, as if there was bubble gum stuck underneath every piece of furniture. Sunlight streamed in through the tall window, illuminating a dust mote storm that had swirled around Poppy as she searched. The filing cabinet stood against the far wall. Poppy found the correct drawer, removed her folder, and placed it on Miss Tate's desk. Pawing through the material, a veil of disappointment fell on Poppy. There were report cards and medical records, pictures she painted when she was much younger, but not a single thing from before she had arrived at the group home. She'd wanted to find out about her parents, but as far as the file was concerned, her parents had never existed. Poppy had come from nowhere. This was highly unusual, and then it got more unusual. Near the back of the folder, Poppy found a sealed envelope with her name on it. She turned it over again and again, most dizzy with excitement. In the upper left corner, written in pen by a delicate hand, there were the words, Larkspur House, Hand-Scrabble Road, Green-Cliffed, NY. The postmark was smudged, so Poppy couldn't read the date it had been sent. A letter? Anger flooded her again. Why had Miss Tate never given it to her? Poppy slid her fingernail carefully under the flap. Inside rested a slip of salmon-colored stationery with intricate floral designs lining every edge. It was one of the most beautiful objects she'd had ever seen. There was a small photograph of a luscious country mansion tucked in the envelope, too. Placing that aside, she began to read. My dearest niece, oh, what a relief to have finally found you. You have no idea what the family has been through, though I'm sure it is nothing compared to the life you've been forced to lead, poor thing. You may call me Great Aunt Delphina. I live on a grand estate in the Hudson Valley with more room than I know what to do with. It would be such an honor if you could consider coming to stay with me. I would provide the best schooling, cuisine, and clothing, all the comforts that any girl could ever wish for, though I'm sure you understand that those things would